Okay, so hi everyone. I am here today with Lydia, one of our beVisioneers mentors, to talk about her experience as a mentor at beVisioneers. Hi Lydia, how are you?
Hi, I'm good, thank you.
Good, good. So let's just dive straight into it, Lydia, and thank you very much for your time today. What inspired you to become a mentor for beVisioneers, and what aspects of the mentoring do you find most rewarding?
Mhm. So I was basically looking for a purposeful activity in volunteering for a longer time. Um, I was kind of like not so sure in which area I can apply my skills and my knowledge best. And I work for a subsidiary of Mercedes-Benz. So basically, I came across beVisioneers through our employee intranet. And it sounded like a really exciting opportunity, especially as it was coupled with a learning path before we actually started the mentoring activity. And so I found that sounded really, really cool and really interesting to kind of have this coupling between learning something for yourself with the Impact Mentor program, but then also like giving the knowledge to someone else in a structured
Mm,
program. And I felt like it's a really, really cool, purposeful program. I'm very passionate about environmental causes myself, so this just seemed like a really, really cool fit. And yeah, I really love it. So I'm in the program for 6 months now. So I'm regularly meeting with my mentee every month now for the last 6 months. So we had 6 sessions now, and all the sessions were really, really cool. And I find these sessions actually the most rewarding
mm,
thing about being in the program, because my mentee, she's a really, really cool person. She's very, very reflected, very motivated as well. She's a true self-starter. So all the sessions that we have are really inspiring. And I feel we can talk on a really good level where I can help her, but we can also exchange experiences more like friends, I would say. So this is really, really
mm.
nice.
That's so lovely. Yeah, that bond between mentor and mentee is super important. And it sounds like, yeah, you really developed something special there with your mentee. So I'm very happy to hear that. Um, so the Be Visionaries mentorship means forming a connection between the now generation and the next generation, so our fellows and beyond. How exactly have you guided your mentee on their journey over the past 6 months?
So as I said, my mentee, she is very reflected and she already has a good support network. She's very well engaged in finding tools herself. So as I said, she's a true like self-starter and she wants to
Mm,
find solutions herself. So to be honest, at first I was not sure kind of what I can bring to the table here in this relationship. But I noticed that sometimes it's just really valuable to have kind of a third person listening to your thoughts and bouncing thoughts kind of back from one another, while that person, it's like it's sometimes good if that person is not like a close friend or a
yeah.
family person or someone from your business, because I feel like I is kind of, I like meet with the person I'm mentoring once a month. So it's not like I'm deep in her business, but I
Mhm.
understand enough about her challenges and
Yeah.
her personality, her skills, etc., that I have some perspective on it. And I think it's really, really helpful for my mentee to just have me as kind of this more objective person, I would say, that yeah, they can bounce kind of their thoughts back off from. Yeah. Like
Really
a
cool.
supporter,
Yeah.
like a supporter
Yeah.
that is on your team, but is not as closely with you as kind of a friend or like a family member that might have like their own expectations or doubts or whatever.
Yeah. Like a sparring partner.
Hmm.
And it is amazing seeing how self-motivated and how set up they all are themselves.
Yeah.
They're super impressive. Like the fellows that I've spoken to, like I'm just blown away by them. But yeah, it's great to hear that they can come to someone objectively.
Yeah.
Um, And I'm curious to know that you mentioned, with like being objective to friends and family, are there are most of the things that you talk about in your mentoring sessions about their projects themselves, or is it kind of just more broadly about their life? Yeah, I'd love to know a little bit more about that.
Yeah, I think it's both of the things, because I feel like the people in the beVisioneers program are, I mean, they are with their personality very coupled with their venture as well. So this might be different from like me being employed for a big corporation, like
Hmm.
there's not that big degree of, like intertwining the work life and the
Hmm.
personal life. And I feel that for my mentee, it's very much intertwined because it's her project, right? It's
Yeah.
her venture. So it's not the case that always kind of these words are as separate. And I feel like there comes some challenges from this that we definitely talk about, like bringing kind of work home and vice versa, bringing like the issues at home to your work. My mentee, she's like her venture is supported by her family as well because they have like a family business. So it's even more intertwined. And yeah, so I couldn't really say that we're like strictly only talking about work or strictly only talking about personal issues because they're so
Mhm.
intertwined. And I think we all deal with that, right? Like that our work
Yeah.
spills into our private life and our private
Mm.
life affects our work life. So I think it's very, very human, very natural. Um,
Yeah.
and I think navigating these challenges is something that we all struggle with to some extent. And so
Yeah.
definitely my mentee struggles with that as well. I struggle with it as well. So it's also great to, exchange experience and thoughts on this. And yeah, to learn from one another, I would say.
Hmm. That is so beautiful. And yeah, actually, you're so right. You can see how those two worlds, like there's blurred lines between both of those worlds for everyone that I know, including myself. So that was really beautiful. Thank you, Lydia, for sharing that. Um, you just mentioned there that you're learning from each other.
Yeah.
I'd love to know a little bit more about what have you learned from your mentee in return. So is it
Yeah.
maybe something about yourself or perspective on life? Yeah, I'd love to know more.
So I think the main thing is having this like I would like for me it feels like an endless supply of self-started motivation. Like this is what I find really inspiring about my mentee. Um, like when you're building a venture, when you're building your own company, when you're trying to bring your idea to life, like I feel like you have to have so much patience. You have to like do so much without always getting like the instant gratification or the return
Mhm.
or reward. Like a lot of times there's like so many uncertainties, and my mentee is just really patient in navigating these uncertainties, really patient and kind of that the reward might just be there in like 3 years or 5 years or maybe even a longer time period. But she's like still willing to like give 100% every day without having this, like outlook, or like certainty to know when exactly the idea will come to life and
Yeah.
will fly essentially. So that's definitely something that I learned, or what I find really inspiring and what I aspire to learn, I would say, to
Amazing.
have this patience, this patience for things that, oh, this will work out. Um,
Hmm.
to have this hope, and also to always find this motivation every day for the causes that are close to my heart personally. Um, and I feel that like through my mentee, I have a really good role model in this, because I see that other people can do this, right? So I think, oh, well, maybe I should try.
I think, yeah, many of us are learning from our fellows in the beVisioneers team and beyond, that from all of them. It's really special and inspiring, as you said. Thank you for sharing that. Um, has there been a particular highlight of your mentoring experience so far? Has there been any special moments or? Yeah, what's been the highlight? Maybe there's a few.
So I would say every session that we have is different. So that's definitely a highlight.
Mhm.
Kind of, I never really know what to expect. Like I prepare my sessions, right? But then
Mhm.
oftentimes this preparation is just really the scaffolding, and we like tap into some of the questions that I have prepared. But most of
Mhm.
the times, we just go with the flow, really, and just freestyle and talk about the things that are really close to my mentee's heart. But definitely, I can see that my mentee has reached some of the milestones that they wanted to achieve. And I mean, that's great to see, right? Yeah, to just be part of this journey.
Mhm.
I would never say that like I have like a big contribution in this, because it's like my mentees' work, and it's kind of their passion and their motivation. But it's just really nice to be able to accompany this journey. And so I would say this is definitely my highlight.
Oh, that's beautiful. Thank you very much, Lydia. I mean, you already touched on this a little bit earlier, but in what way do you think that you personally grown or developed as a mentor during this beVisioneers fellowship program experience for you?
So at first, I have to say I was quite insecure about what I can bring to the table here in this relationship, because the kind of field that my mentee is working is very, very different from the field that I work in.
Hmm.
So I was not sure at first, right? Like, oh, what can I offer even here in this relationship? Like, what is my part that I can play? But really, I've become way more secure in my role as a mentor. And so I would say my insecurity has eased a lot, because I have learned that just being a good listener is sometimes the most
Yeah.
important thing that my mentee needs from me. And it's not really me being like an expert in, I don't know, like chemical processes or whatever,
Hmm.
really more about being there, listening,
Yeah.
asking questions, me trying to understand better what might be an issue. And with that, kind of with my problem understanding, I feel like this also helps my mentee kind of organize and structure their thoughts. So yeah, I feel like I've become more at ease with my role as a mentor, like more calm, I would say,
Hmm.
and kind of have gained a lot of clarity on what's really important for my mentee in this relationship. Yeah, I think this would be the most important things that I have taken from this experience.
Oh, I love that. Thank you for being so honest. I think, yeah, listening, just simply listening is one
Yeah.
of those skills and areas that are just like vastly and hugely underestimated. So I love that you specifically mentioned that, Lydia.
Yeah.
Um, we'll wrap things up with just one final question. How has mentoring this fellow influenced your thoughts for our planet's future?
So actually it like the whole program beVisioneers, because I'm also like in the forum, right? And sometimes I like to read up on like what the other fellows are writing there, and like follow the communication from beVisioneers. So I would say like the program in general like makes me really hopeful for the future, that there are like young people who are eager to change something for their communities. And I really like about beVisioneers specifically that it's not just like, like these huge projects or huge ideas, but really like community-based projects that are supported. I mean, I know that some people in the program have kind of like, bigger ideas and want to go bigger and worldwide. But for me, it's also really great to see, especially kind of in the countries that are not like European countries, but
Hmm.
Indian projects and like the
Yeah.
African projects. Like I feel it's really great to see that there's really people who are also like caring about the micro issues.
Yeah.
And that's making me really hopeful for my mentee specifically. Like, you know, she's so bright, like such a bright mind, is doing so many different things, like not just with her kind of venture, but also kind of with her academic life and personal life. So it's just making me really hopeful for the future. Like there's hope for us as a society, as a planet. So yeah, I think it's just it's great to see this. And
Yeah.
just for us as humans, it's a great bunch of people, my mentee included, but also the other fellows from what I could see.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I like as a fellow European myself, I find it fascinating learning about the
Yeah,
projects that are taking place in countries outside of Europe as well, and like the specific and unique challenges that they find in their
yeah,
communities. Yeah, it's fascinating, and yeah, very grateful to be part of this truly global fellowship team. And we are very fortunate to have mentors like you helping our fellows in their planet positive journeys. So thank you very, very much, Lydia, for taking the time to speak to me today and share your
sure.
experience so far. Um, I hope the next 6 months bring you as much joy and learning as they have so far. And I wish you and your fellow all the best. And maybe we'll
Thank
catch up
you.
again later in the year.
Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me and giving me the time to share a bit of my thoughts. And yeah, I can recommend to everyone to apply to be a mentor because it's really, really fulfilling and just really interesting.
Mhm.
Yeah, all over.
Thank you, Lydia. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Thank you. Bye
Bye.
bye.